Be the change. Good morning. Be the change. Why would you want to be the change? Why would you want to be the change? Or would you even want to be the change? I think though that I want to be a part of the solution, not the problem. And so finding within yourself like the layers and layers of things that aren't you, to find the who you are underneath it, because you're in there. And there's also everything that you dreamed, everything that you want, everything that's going to bring your life a lot of joy. But you have to be willing to shed the layers of who you are not. So what we got? Relationships. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. Good relationships is very important. And to find the ones that are not trying to pull you down. Sometimes you have to, when you go into situations, you might know that these people have tendencies to pull you down. So before I go in there, I will just put a protection around me. I will be mindful. I will be observing their behavior. And I will take a little closer look at just what they are actually doing to protect myself. And it's always a good thing to protect yourself, because people have all kinds of different agendas on how they feel. And most people haven't done that much work. So however they come about is typically unconscious stuff that a lot of people refuse to work on it. And decide. They refuse to work on it, and by refusing to work on it, they also decide that I am not wanting to open up my life for something better. I want my life to stay the same. I want to be stagnant, and I want to be trapped in my own routines and my own habits and doing the same old things that I have always done, because it makes me feel safer, and that's who I am. And then they're miserable. And then they're miserable. Relationships. The time of guilt and shame ends now. Yeah, sometimes people can implement shame into your relationships. They can implement guilt into your relationships. Guilt is a very popular method of getting people sucked in and stuck to you. So if you are an energy vampire, I recommend you to quit it. Don't play on other people's guilt to get what you want. And don't let other people play on your guilt to get what they want, because that's just very unhealthy and uncomfortable and a powerful negative way of controlling people. Forgive yourself and begin to love yourself just as you are. That's where everything starts. Love yourself just the way you are, because there's really no right or wrong. Like, even encouraging everybody to be the change every day, it's like there's nothing wrong with everybody. It's just like there's so much potential to feel better. There's so much potential to have a better life. And there's so much potential within each and every person out there that it's sad to see that instead of taking out the potential and bringing out the higher good, people choose to go on medicine, be depressed, having like just doing all these same things. And so love yourself just as you are. And attract in, be aware of the relationships that you attract into your life. And sometimes when you're transitioning from one energy level that you're on and you're transitioning up, now you might have to be by yourself for a little while in this in-between time. In-between time can be difficult because a lot of people give up there, because now they have to be by themselves. And most people don't like it, because when you're by yourself, you have to... then you have to feel yourself. And all the distractions that we have all everywhere is because we don't want to feel ourselves. We don't want to do that, because it's uncomfortable and it's hidden, and it's something that we are trying to hide, and maybe we have been trying to hide it for years and years. And so we're losing out. And then you lose out on everything beautiful in life. So we got relationships, and the time of guilt and shame ends now. Let's see how you are showing up today. You are showing up as someone strong and someone even stronger, and on your luck when it comes to relationships. So you are showing up as someone who is capable of going the mile. You are someone showing up as someone who is capable of walking the walk, talking the talk. You're showing up as someone who is capable of carrying all these experiences in life, all these things that you've been through in your life. You're showing up as someone who's capable of carrying them. You are going towards your destination, and you're capable of carrying all of these experiences, the burdens, the heaviness, the loads that life will pack on us, unless we are in a spiritual place where you can unpack it too. So you are someone who can carry all these burdens. You also are someone who knows that you have this certain foundation, but you're not satisfied with it. And you're someone who knows that if you're not satisfied with it, you don't have to settle for it. Like, you can have the whole world trying to get you to do something or be with someone. And you can be like, well, I do not want to be with that person, and I do not want to do that. And so you're going to go the other way. And that takes a lot of integrity. It takes a lot of confidence. And it takes a lot of willingness to let go of all the promises that is dangling over there, all the distractions that's dangling over there. So you're showing up as someone who is not afraid to walk away from anything that is not serving your higher good. If you are someone who is, you've been through life, you know what life can be, you know what people can be, and people there's no hardly bottom in the cruelty that can come out of people. And so anyway, you have already experienced life. You already know what it's like to carry all these things, and you're doing it gracefully. You're doing it with strength and assertiveness, and you know that everything that is not for your highest good, you just cut it. Cutting cords. I take back all my energy, and I release all energy ever placed on me by these people, and I take back all my energy. Cutting the cords, cut the cords. Take back your energy every day. Take it back, because if you don't, it's out there. And there's less that you can spend on having to deal with all these burdens, having to have the energy to walk away from everything that is no longer serving you. And then there's the Two of Cups, which is a soul connection, a soul bond. And by saying, I can carry this on my own, I can do this, and I'm walk away from everything no longer serving me, I'm going to bring in this soul connection that I desire. And you are someone who is not settling for anything less than that. And you are also someone who is not afraid to be alone if you have to, instead of settling for something that you don't want. Because if you settle for something that you don't want, then you're going to have to deal with this that you don't want for a long time maybe. And so it just creates a lot of problems. And so you are showing up as someone with already plans out there. As someone who had some goals. Okay, so you're showing up as someone, and this can feel very sad. It can feel very scary, because you had this great idea. So you had this great idea, you put it into motion, you set it in, you took your energy, you put it towards it, and you focused, and you put it into being. And then it didn't come out as you had planned. A lot of times in life, things don't happen the way we plan it, which is a good practice, is to be open and let things unfold the way that they do, and just be okay with that. Because times life sometimes don't show up the way we want it to. And with your goal here, so you had setbacks, you had disappointments, there's been grief, you've been grieving over something, maybe it's something that you thought you really wanted, and then you didn't get it, and it was very upsetting, which of course it is. Especially if you've invested a lot of time and a lot of energy and everything, and maybe you thought it would be the happy ever after, the gold mine. Now you don't have to worry anymore. You got everything with this idea. Everything is going to come into fruition and all that. And it's also here because you're showing up as someone who's not afraid to walk away from things. So you're not afraid to walk away from the old ideas either, because you know that it doesn't matter. Like, if the lesson was something else, maybe the lesson with that old idea was that this is how you let go of ideas, and this is how you embrace new ideas and take charge of that. Maybe that was your lesson. And so you're not afraid to walk away from it. And because of that, you're still open. Like, the 10 of Pentacles is here. So after the disappointments and after the defeat, or whatever you want to call it, there is going to be like the excess of energy, time, resources, money coming in, maybe friends, help, relationships, taking better advantage of the time, being better able to utilize the time, and letting go with forgiveness, with doing all of that and walking away from everything, building good, strong relationships. And these relationships are going to be able to help you for years to come. Conflict, we got Tower, 3 of Cups, and the Emperor. Okay, so someone might be also the conflict showing up as huge change, and the Emperor showing up as and this can be like it's in a conflict, so perhaps need to build more relationships, change the way that things are, like make big changes, do it, like just make big changes before it forces you to make changes. Sometimes if you know that you need to do something, or you know that this is something that would be good for me, for my highest good, if I did that, it would be great. And if you do it, it will be great. And then we refuse to do it, and then life will come in and do it for us. This is the Before Tarot, and this is a reminder that everything is in a process. So whatever it is that you have going on in your life, and perhaps refusing to change, or maybe conflict can be also, maybe you don't have the good friends in your life. Maybe you have like the ones that I'll be checking out on, these kind of people. Maybe you have those kind of people in your life, and they will bring conflict. Like these people that I'm talking about, they have never been supportive of anything that I do, other than just taking my time and hanging out and doing probably unhealthier things. That was the relationship. And so until I put myself in a better position where I needed something more out of a relationship and just cut it loose, then I wasn't able to grow, because the energy that you surround yourself with will influence you, and it will impact you. And if you're around people who never encourage who you truly are, or what your passions are, and who you are as a person, then you're not going to grow as a person either. Emperors here, that can be a good thing, structure, reliability, and all that. And that could be a conflict too. Maybe there's someone here showing up as the Emperor and you don't want them, and that's okay, you're walking away from it. Maybe there's someone here showing up as a fake Emperor, so it creates a conflict. Maybe they want to play and pretend that they are all that in a bag of chips, and they're really not. And so I guess just being observant, knowing thyself before you go in there. Know your worth, know yourself and know your worth, and then see how they make you feel. How being around these people, like these, now you're going to weed out the bad relationships, you're going to weed in the good relationships. So how do you feel after you've been around these people? How does it make you feel? Do you feel energized, uplifted, hopeful, and do go on with your life with like, yeah, now I have extra like energy around me, supportive energy that is lifting me up and making me even like more stronger or more in tune with who I am? Is that the kind of people that you have around, or do you have like the Debbie Downers and the negative Nellies and the jealous Jennies over there and all those? Or are you surrounded by those kind of people? Because if you are, it will influence everything that you do and trying to do in your daily life. There is though other person on your mind. So whoever you have on your mind is showing up here in a great way. So whoever else that you have on your mind showing up here as the Magician, you can manifest this person right into your life. You can manifest this person right into your life. Be aware of the fake emperors, the fake friends, and don't be afraid of change. However, this other person on your mind, Magician, they can manifest too. They are, which means that they are in a really good place with their emotions, because manifestations, good or bad, is coming from how you feel. And on that note, Esther and Abraham Hicks says, you now remember that you are free. In fact, you are so free that you could choose bondage, freedom to choose. And that everything that comes to you is in response to the thoughts you are thinking and how you're feeling. So what kind of thoughts are you thinking? So this is someone who is positive. This is someone who is in gratitude. They're in their higher emotional. So whoever you have on your mind is like, they can also manifest great things. Ace of Cups, a brand new beginning. This is someone that you can build a brand new beginning with. Like, this is the universal love. This is like the self-fulfilling cup. And the Chariot is here, which is also fast movement forward. This is being in riding in tandem with each other, like being in sync with each other, going forward, not having to over-explain things or be come with instructions on everything, because there's a connection. And when there is a connection, the words, you don't need all the same words. You don't need the same explanations and all the same words and lessons all the time. I think some of so spirit advice, let's see. Spirit advice, end cycles, the world. Spirit is saying, end bad relationships, toxic relationships, and negative self-talk, and all these things that are holding you back. Like, if you have situations in your life that you would rather be without, end them. If you have people in your life that you would rather be without, then end those relationships too. You always have the power to walk away from everything and anything that you want to walk away from in your life, and be discerning. And Spirit says temperance. So Spirit is saying, close out cycles. Or maybe also Spirit is saying, go out into the world and do your thing, but be balanced. So temperance showing up too. Balance. Know that you always have support. You always have celestial support. You always have guides. You always have the divine. You always have the present moment. You always have your rootedness in the moment. You always have the power. And with the energy, like, if you have relationships that have been draining you, or they've been pulling on your energy, you'd be thinking about it all the time. You'd be confused and you'd be thinking about it all the time. And if you have those kind of relationships in your life, then in your mind, create a little ritual where you can just cut the cord and you just call your energy back. Any kind of energy that you ever sent to that person, you're calling it back, you take it back, and you release all the energy that was ever sent to you from them. And you can free yourself. That way, you take your energy back. Now you can use it, because you're going to need it, because you are carrying heavy burdens. You need your own energy. And maybe that's what you're carrying, all these energies from other people. Sometimes people be working in close relation with other people. They don't understand how much energy, energy is constantly being exchanged and constantly being intermixed and intermingled and all that stuff. And people don't understand that you have to clear this out. You have to clear it for your system. Otherwise, it's going to affect how you live. Like, it's going to affect how you feel and how you live. And so being balanced and making good choices, ending the time of guilt and shame, knowing that you are lovable just the way you are. You always were lovable just the way you are. There never was anything wrong with you. There never was anything, like these things that you've been trained to think about yourself. These things, like, you always were lovable and you always will be lovable. And the King of Cups. Being in a place of personal power. When you are being discerning, look for that empathetic, the person with empathy, the person with compassion and the person who is also trying to live up to their highest good. If you are trying to live up to your highest good and you're calling in somebody who can also live up to their highest good, then you're going to call in a King of Cups. If you are the Queen of Cups or you are also the King of Cups, like the energy, you've done so much work on yourself that you did release the shame, the guilt, the fear, the envy, all that stuff, like you released it. And now you are focusing on the gratitude, focusing on the compassion, focusing on building leadership qualities where you can be assertive, moving away from relationships that you maybe have had for a long time in your life, maybe your whole life, can be very difficult. And compassion, have compassion with yourself, have gratitude, have assertiveness, stand up for yourself, put boundaries, so that you can make the choices that are good, that are for your highest good, because you are here for a purpose. And the purpose is not to walk around and be freaking depressed and anxious and here on planet Earth. It's supposed to be like a good experience. And the beautiful light in me, it honors, respects, and loves the same beautiful light in you. And until next time, namaste.